This message is prohibited.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of TabooTalks. This is going, hopefully when you see this, you would have already seen the other two prologue episodes that I did with my friends back in Chicago. But here today, we have Sandra Tao. If you don't know her, I'm going to give you a little introduction.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then you can fill in the blanks.
Sure.
So, this is Sandra Tao. She is a musician who also does a lot and amazing social content, a lot of social marketing per se, and as well as a early childhood teacher. So holistic. You're really holistic with all that. And then on top of that, the stuff that I really enjoy is that she also is a curator, an event curator, and as well as like content curator, so that people can just create creativity. And that's a part of the group T.BExtraordinary.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes. TBE.
Yeah, do you guys say like 2B or is it T.BExtraordinary?
We see the short is TB.
Okay.
And then, of course, when we're introducing ourselves, T.BExtraordinary. That's how we say it. T.BExtraordinary.
Okay.
Yeah.
T.BExtraordinary. Okay.
Yeah, it just flows like TBExtraordinary.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, so Sandra is one of the co-founders of that group along with her other amazing folks. Mm-hmm. One being Trev Kimoto and the other being Ailey Xiong.
Meyer John, alias Ailey Lee.
I don't know what to say. Like, literally, we were... So, like, when I hit you all up to, like, do stuff, that's when the transition happened. And
Yes.
everything changed to Ailey Lee. Everything changed to Ailey Lee. And then I was like, wait, so what do I tag you as? Do I say, like, Meyer? Do I say Ailey? Do I say Xiong? Or do I go with Lee? Do I
Yeah.
say Meyer Lee? Because, you know, all those things are happening. And so I'm just like, I don't know what to tag you as, girl. Like,
I mean, right now with TBE, all of us are like in the creative process of really building our creative bio.
Yeah,
Like building
okay.
our creative bio. So just recently in my Instagram, I changed it as well.
Yeah, it used to be
Excess Cinderella.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is so like Disney. And then you
Yes.
just changed it to Eon.
Ess Era.
Okay, why is
Yeah.
it EES?
ESS.
Okay, yeah, why is it ESS?
ESS.
Why is it not just like S? Because like,
I just think ESS looks really creatively attractive,
okay,
you know. And
so it's more of like aesthetics.
it's more, yeah, it's definitely more aesthetics. Like if
Okay.
I had to describe, because Maya asked me this question the other day, like when we were in the car, she's like, you know, if you had
Yeah.
to describe S, like what would it be? And I would say, you know, S is like a persona, right?
Yeah.
So S would be like more bold, more aesthetic.
Wow, that's
but
like your
more-
drag persona.
Yeah.
Like when gay guys talk about drag personas and like so I have a friend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him the name Mark.
Okay.
So when Mark is Mark, but he has another persona, his drag persona, and that one is called Okra. I don't know if Mark is gonna keep doing Okra anymore, but yeah. So it's just kind of like Okra is like super like confident, like flamboyant, and like can do all these moves unafraid and like all that stuff. And then like Mark over here is like more reserved and like, you know, himself as on a daily basis. And so that's kind of like,
Yes.
sorry.
No, absolutely. And I would have to say the reason why that's so beneficial is because it gives you space to just like you just create yourself another space to just be a part of you and not be shy about it. Because honestly, if all of us lived in this world without not being afraid of other people's opinions or judgments, I think everybody would absolutely love each other much more.
Facts.
Of course, with everything that, you know, with magazine, appearance, blah, 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 you know, it's really, you know, being able to create a persona where you have a space to just be yourself wholeheartedly with whatever you are so passionate about is
Right.
something that many people aren't capable of doing. And so, I'm just here to say that it doesn't mean that that's complete, like that whoever that persona is like the fake you. It's not you. It's you, but in a space where you have accepted within yourself that this is who I am. Like, hey, if S comes out, this is S, right? If you meet Sandra, this is how Sandra is. But if you put Sandra in the right space, the right time, right venue, right, just around the right audience, S is gonna come out, right? So F is like my creative persona that I'm building, and definitely something I want to market. And so it's So I'm Ess Era now on Instagram. If you're gonna tag me,
facts. I will tag you on that.
Yeah.
But it's also like the Beyonce thing. I don't know if you know about that. Like for a couple, I forget what her alter ego was.
She
called.
was Sasha.
Yes. It's just like that. It's just like that. At some point in your life, I'm pretty sure S and Sandra are gonna merge.
Yes, absolutely.
At some point, but just not right now.
You know, a lot of times a lot of people get stuck in the world of living in other people's images of you, right? Living in that world, other people's opinions and judgments of you, and that influences you for what you do, what you decide to do, what you decide to pursue. And if you're able to create like another persona, it's just like another step over that. Just kind of like, you guys can have all your opinions about me, but you haven't met so-and-so, man. I can't wait for you guys.
Sandra.
Yeah.
You only know S.
You haven't met S yet, man. And that's the fun part. It's like, it's part of my milestone, the way I look at it. So,
Okay.
Yeah. A milestone is just how you view yourself as a person.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
A little different.
For sure. Well, tell me a little bit about To.BExtraordinary from your perspective. Like, why did you personally decide to start this with Trev and Mayer?
So To.BExtraordinary, it's been something that I personally have always wanted to do. As when I first tasted freedom once again. And the reason why I say that is because I grew up I'm a small town girl with big dreams.
Okay, all right.
If I had to just describe myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm a small town girl with big dreams. I was heavily influenced by like individuals like Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, Alicia Keys, because I'm a very musical type of person.
Okay.
And I'm just, and I have been very lucky to not only have parents that were able to discipline me in a way where I never truly made a mistake in society, where I was condemned for it,
Girl, what did you do? What were you thinking about doing? That's the real question.
And I say that because the town that I was from was majority white people, Caucasian.
Okay.
And I use those two words interchangeably.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
the town I was from was basically like 99% Caucasian when I was growing up. And so I guess growing up, I was with like the smart kid group, you can say, like how schools sometimes separate you.
Oh, so you was that Asian token girl. You was the smart one.
I was the one
go to her for
Asian that
math.
was like in the like white people group all the time.
Okay.
And I just always saw that my friends were just not, like, I didn't understand why my other friends that looked like me, like why I didn't have classes with them. And I understood that academics was something, but
Right.
I mean, it was really just academics, but that started affecting me, how I viewed myself. And it was
that's
kind of like,
interesting.
hey, so if I get stuck in a class where it's just people like me, then that means my grades have dropped. Or like that means I'm academically at that level where it's lower. Because that's just how they were, that's just how I was seeing the world in the town that I was living in. And so I always shot for like, hey, if I was in the class with like a lot of the white kids, that means I'm making it. That means like I'm academically making it. Society is like gonna treat me better. And yes, I was that like Asian girl where I appealed to the white community. I started doing a lot of things in the white community. I participated in a lot of very active things that the predominantly white population in my town was doing. And that would be like playing sports. That would be like joining after school events, after school activities. Not saying I was the only one doing it,
Right.
but a lot of the friends that were around me at that time, like they weren't able to do it because their parents said don't do it, and they just like not did it. And so my perspective from that definitely changed when I hit like middle school, high school, when I started understanding like racial bias,
Okay.
racism, and experiencing that firsthand and seeing my friends at the time that were the same skin color as me
Okay.
going through that. And then that's where I started truly fighting for social justice and like equality.
Okay.
When I was
Gotcha,
younger, I
gotcha.
didn't understand any of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got older and I started understanding, because I started reading and I started paying attention to how people were actually treating each other, not just
Right.
to me, but to each other, the people that I was surrounding myself with.
Right.
And so, yeah, my childhood definitely played a huge role as to who I am and where I am now. And it wasn't until I moved up to the Twin Cities that I started seeing all these creative people,
yeah.
you know? And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that these people existed here, because I was like making big plans to go to California and New York, all that stuff, right? But I didn't know what I didn't know. And so it wasn't until I
Exactly.
moved up to the Twin Cities that I started exploring, seeing really like the creative side of the world.
When did that happen?
here.
When did you move?
About like 3 years ago now, 2
Okay.
years ago now that I've been in the Twin Cities.
Okay.
It's going to my 3rd year actually. So I've only been here for like 2 years.
Wow.
And the first initial year, I connected with Trev.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Connected with Trev like literally a few months, because Trev had taken photos of one of my friends in my hometown.
Okay.
And I moved up and we at each other, and he just like hit me up, hey. And then one of his statuses, he's like, I'm looking for a model. And I was like free that day, and I just liked it. And then he was like, hey, you want to come through? I'm like, sure. And I had no fashion. I sucked with my makeup. It was not very cute. Like, I would say how I looked then is not how I look now. And we connected at one time. And, you know, I was very grateful to have met Trev. Like,
Okay.
he was showing me his ropes. And at that time, I finally was on the path to properly just really pursuing what I actually wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then we lost connection with after that. Like, it was like a whole year of just nothingness.
Right.
And so a few months before, I almost got something similar to like what TB would be now if everybody came through.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until Trev and I hit each other up again in the springtime, I believe, and we just started like hanging out and started really talking about our creative things, that it reignited in me. And I was
Okay.
like, hey, there's potential for this.
Yeah.
Hey, there's, you know, this friendship we have is going places in our creative realm where we can really do something with it. And of course, I acknowledge that I cannot do it all. Why? Because I don't have a camera. I'm not a photographer yet, right? I don't have the skill set. I acknowledge within myself that there are definitely a lot of skill sets and a lot of things that I don't know about. So what do? I either go educate myself or I go find someone that's very knowledgeable of it. And so in terms of photography, videography, I'm very grateful to have met Trev. And then through Trev, it went through the summer. Trev and I were already talking about TBE and like we were already talking business creatively.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't really get it jump started until
The summer.
the summer where we met
2019.
Meyer. And then we got to know Meyer too, and what Meyer can bring to the table. I mean, Ailey Lee. Got to know Ailey. And then the day I met Meyer was like the day Trev had a photo shoot with her. And before Maya came, Trev and I were already like feeling like, hey, you know, we can take photos for fun. We can like do this for fun, but we're not making any profit from it. This is our like creative side. Like we can always be creative, but why don't we start taking the step forward where we can start profiting from our creativity? So many other people are doing it, right? So many photographers make money. So many people that are streaming YouTube. Like the age of the influencer, the age of the creators, it's coming. And why don't we start doing that now? Why don't we really take into consideration, hey, when we meet up for creative stuff, let's do something productive. Either it's to boost our social media or just boost our skills and boost our experience where we can produce actual content, or like we can put together actual things that can resonate with people, that start not touching the people around us, but people that don't know who we are. And on that day was the day that we met Meyer. The day I met Meyer.
Yeah.
And so I would say that day was the jumpstart of me and Trev's mentality into like, hey, let's make a group like TB. And then Meyer came, we started hanging out, and then we just experimented with events. And then it wasn't until the end of summer that we established TB. We went through many names. But I was like, you know, TB.
Dang, the roast.
And we were like, you know, describing, using words and phrasings that describe what we wanted to accomplish. And I could have said, you know, I want to talk about things that we're like extraordinary. We're like, you know, whatever because all three of us come from very different creative backgrounds.
Okay.
And like whatever that it is, I just wanted to create a group or a name where whatever it is that we are all doing creatively, we can be extraordinary and go above and beyond. Like, I don't care what it is. But the most important thing is that we're able to show the world or show people how the beginning of it and how much we can all support each other.
Okay.
To be part of each other's beginning journey and show other people that, hey, even though you might not be in our group of people, but you might have people in your circle that can help you jumpstart and do the same thing. And we finally wrote it. I finally coined it.
Okay.
And so I'll just read it to you because honestly, I don't remember at the top of my head.
Yeah.
And so it's just, hello humans. Why do we say humans? Hello humans. Instead of, hey guys, hey people of the world. I'm just like, we're all humans. We're all human beings.
Gotcha.
And it's welcome to T.BExtraordinary, a place where you can be extraordinary in whatever you want to be.
Okay.
And that just really sums up who we are together as TB. Like you said, we're a creator. We love to put people with creative passions together. I absolutely love to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of my networking, a lot of my group of people that I have around me are people of the creative side. My goal, honestly, is just to allow people to be creative in their passion and just truly, truly pursue it. And understand how to develop the type of funds to support it. And so that's why I'm so very grateful for my business and learning business and how I'm able to connect creativity and business together in a way where I can create an income where I would not have to worry about getting a job and take time away from my creative passion and just work on that income. And then when I get to the place where I need to be, then just my passion would just explode, explode with no boundaries, limitless. And, that's just who I am as part of the person of TB. I'm like the business person. And then I do social media marketing.
Yeah, that's the part I know about.
This next one was Amber's, because through that I met a person here in Minnesota. I really respect this person's work ethic. I really respect this person as a person. He's a great friend too. And he was like, hey, talking to me about, hey, Amber's coming up. I'm hosting tour on Amber. And I'm like, oh, good luck. Like me, I was just like, okay, good luck, right? Because I was like, I'm already doing business. I'm already doing teaching. I'm already starting TBE at this point. Like,
right,
of course, the other thing I do is my TBE. I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, social media marketing. Yeah, I'll do it on like social media. I'll help you promote and stuff. Like, I learned how to do the hashtags. I learned like geo setting and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I have the skills for it, right? And he's like, okay. Like, just, and I look on his Facebook and stuff. He's like, I'm looking for volunteers. And I'm like, as a creative person, then one day wants to create events for other individuals and potentially partner out with like big people on these creative events. What is it that I can do to gain that experience? And then this man just posted the tour, the right time and place for me. Is this something that I was like, oh, I'm going to jump in and do it? No, I contemplated about it. Okay. I was like, do I really want to do it?
Right.
Is it something I want to put my hands on because I was doing so many things?
Yeah. How was that whole experience? I mean, because it's Amber.
Yeah.
I guess for people who don't know Amber, do you want to talk a little bit about her?
Oh, sure.
I guess you're official, semi-official. You're like, yeah,
well,
I can talk about
in terms
her.
of like of her, right? I mean, currently Amber is a Korean. She's actually Chinese, but she debuted in a K-pop crew called FX, and they were pretty big. They were one of the popular groups. They blew up, and unfortunately, everybody grew up as well. Not only did their group blew up, but everybody as a member all grew up, and they discovered their own self-passion, and because they built the skills to be able to venture out on their own at this point. And so she decided to come out as an individual artist, and my friend just so happens, the company that she chose to sign with just so happens to be my friend's company, and he's like a tour manager right now for the tour. And so Amber is really big. She has records in like Chinese and Korean and English. She's friends with like the big K-pop people like SNSD, Suju, and like all of them. So she is a very big person, I would say.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I would agree.
You would agree, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely big. I I would say that she's lost some steam recently in terms of like, is she trending or not? But in general, like people know. That's just my perception.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, that's always the struggle of like moving on and out as a solo artist, right? This is where you see your true fans.
But I feel
You
like
know?
out of all of the FX members, she was the one that probably she was like the one that blew up the most, at least here in America.
Yes, because she can speak English.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
saying I don't think the other member can too, but Amber was definitely more open and she blew up on more of the variety shows. And then she kind of tapped back. She wanted to tap back into her music, and so
Yeah.
this tour is about her music. And so Amber's a pretty big girl, and that's how I got. That's how I was able to jump into this opportunity to work with her on her tours. And of course, it just happened on
right.
Tuesday, the concert. It was
Yeah.
at the Varsity Theater. It was absolutely lovely.
I saw the
Met
I saw the
Amber.
photos
Yeah.
you post up.
Met Amber. It was funny. A lot of people like, no way. And I'm like, I just heart it because I'm like, well, you can see the picture. It's not like
Yeah.
she's a statue or anything.
Right.
No, she's very
She's really
lovely. Very cool. Very lovely. Very down to earth. Definitely
Oh,
put in her own
totally.
work. I was helping out at the venue, doing like merch and like helping helping people get organized into there, which was a very lovely experience. I would absolutely do it and volunteer again. Met Amber, I guess. Met Amber was like the highlight, right?
Right,
Meeting the artist
right.
is the highlight. She's very cute, very adorable.
She's tall too, right?
She's she's not that tall actually. I think she's like a few inches taller than me only.
Wait, so wait, how
When I was
tall are you?
standing next to her, it wasn't too much of a. I think you're taller than her actually.
Me?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, stand up.
I swear. Wait,
Stand
okay,
up.
hold
Wait,
on.
we're gonna stand up for a little bit. Oh no, like you're taller than her.
Really?
Yeah, you're
No.
Daniel's taller than Amber.
I thought that Amber was taller than me, to be
No,
honest.
I think you're a little taller than her, cause I was able to look her eye to eye. She's definitely. I'm 5'2". Okay, I think she must be like 5'4". You're like what? How tall are you? You're like
I'm 5'8".
5'8". Oh yeah, you're
crazy.
definitely much taller than
That's
her.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean if you
I
look
just-
at my photos with her,
Right, but she
We're, like,
she
the
was
same height.
sitting taller than you though, and it was at a height considerable where I was like, oh wow, she must be pretty tall. I thought you were like 5'6", to be honest.
me?
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you.
So-
I want to be 5'5", but I'm not getting there. I get there with heels.
So because I thought you were 5'6", and that she was that much taller than you, I was like, oh wow, Amber must be like 5'10" or something.
No, I was wearing these same shoes, like flat shoes, and we were able to see each other.
Man.
Yeah, but she's so cute though.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. First, I said thank you to myself for putting myself out there and willing to
Hell
make the
yeah.
connections, right?
Definitely.
I thank myself. Thanks Snoop Dogg for pushing that out. I give thanks to myself, right?
Wait, what does Snoop Dogg got to do with anything?
What? Because he got the Hall of he got the the Hollywood star, and then he made a speech, and he was he was saying thanks, and then at the end he's like, but I want to thank myself for not giving up. I want to thank myself for pushing myself through, something like that.
Facts.
And so,
Okay. Now he's got what is it called? Gate Records or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, like I don't think I would ever buy a ticket to anyone's concert. Like I don't really care if it's like Beyonce or anybody that comes in. Like I wouldn't waste my money to buy the ticket. I would rather
Yeah.
put in my work and be an artist that performs on the stage with the artist.
Yo, facts. Honestly, I'm in the same boat. Like, I wouldn't, even if I really like the artist, I wouldn't pay a ticket to go see them. It's just like,
Right.
whatever.
I just want to be able to sit down, have a nice seat, and listen to you sing.
Yeah. Although
Really.
there are people that I would love to meet in person, but like, I wouldn't do it at a concert.
Like I wouldn't want to do it at a concert as a fan. I wouldn't want to do it as a respective creator.
Yeah, like a partner.
Yes.
Almost.
As a respective creator. Because at this point, at where we're going with TBE, at where I want to go with like myself as an individual person, like I don't want to limit myself to just be a fan of a person. I want to be able to be the friend of the person, or let's be creators together, or let's hear each other, and I just it's a very powerful thing to truly feel like, hey, let me take, because I love singing, you love singing too. You've made it. If you can make it, I can do it too.
Right.
And just truly, really feeling that
Yeah.
and running with that is much more powerful than just being like, I'm a fan of your singing and I'm going to buy a ticket to your concert. Nothing wrong with that. That's very beautiful and very powerful in its own way too. But as a person, yeah, I don't think I would buy a concert ticket.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like, you know, like you're out here, you're trying to make your creativity work for you and everything. But like, I mean, you know, most people are going to be like, it's so oversaturated though. Like most people are going to be like, well, you're not the best, and like only the best of the best get to the top. And so like, why are you even like pursuing this? You know?
Yeah.
Like
no,
you're so
understand.
young. Like why waste your time trying to pursue music? Because like I know you want to be a singer, right?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. It's
Okay.
like a passion.
Yeah. And so like why waste your time doing that when you could, you know, use
Make
your
more
time
money, go to college, become a doctor.
or yeah, something that can like you can live off of.
Well, here's the thing. Number one, most of the people that say those type of things are the people that's already given up on themselves first, right? And if you say things like, "Oh, the market is oversaturated," well, even though the market is oversaturated, somebody's gonna push through. There's never a limit. It's only you that limit yourself. So no matter how many people say like it's oversaturated, music is like overrated, or like you know, this is not gonna make you a lot of money.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
only lose when you give up on yourself. It doesn't matter what those people say, because I always say this to everybody and everything that I do. Currently, my mindset, right? It's like, if you don't pay for my bills, you don't pay for my lifestyle. If you don't pay for my well-being, your opinion doesn't matter.
Wow.
You know? If you say the market is oversaturated,
Rude.
that's the limit that you put on yourself. That's not rude. It's true. It's true. It's the truth. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah, facts.
I guess
facts.
that's like the rude way of saying it. But it's, you know, I look at it like, if, you know, this is my experience, right? This is my time. This is my value. I understand where you're coming from in a place of you just want to protect another person, right? But because, you know, that when it comes to like someone wanting to pursue their passion and you put a limit on them, it's kind of like you're killing their dream instead of supporting their dream. You know, a person can do what you can. You do what you can until the end. But you need to do absolutely everything that you can when you're in the pursuit of that. And if at the end it doesn't come out the way that it should be, then, you know, that is what it is. But knowing that you put in your all on that journey and the process is what's most important. Because if you can do that once, you can do that again. And so with this idea of like pursuing music, it's oversaturated. I always say this, look, every person has their own color of music. No matter who it is, no matter what genre it is, the people that truly pursue it and want to be passionate about it, that want to share their music for the world and let other people hear it, they will explode regardless, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
No matter what background, however old they are, whatever market they pop out of. Those stories happen. So why can't it be you? Don't let the other opinions of others that aren't even pursuing it, right? There are people that aren't even pursuing it and telling you that the market is oversaturated. I asked those people, did you pursue music? How long did you pursue it for? Did you do everything that you can to get yourself out in the market area?
Right.
And then did you hit a stone wall? What was your stone wall? Why don't you share that?
Well,
You know, and encourage people with that.
right. Well, you know, people, you know, so you talk about creativity, like people can be creative and like you can still be doing your stuff. Like I don't mind you doing your stuff, you know, but like, you know, had you had finished college, you could have had a job and then you could be doing your stuff on the side. Like why can't it just be like a side hustle for you, you know?
Well, because it's not meant to be a side hustle.
Okay.
Because I don't look at it as a side hustle. Is it something I do aside now? Yes. But is it something that I want to be a lifestyle? Yes. I don't want my job to be my lifestyle. That's the biggest difference. My job is not my lifestyle. My lifestyle is something that it's the wealth. And it's the wealth that I generate for myself. It's the time freedom and the wealth that I get to generate now. Whether that's through the traditional route of going through college 4 years, and a lot of people don't have money for college. And honestly, that was one of the things that I had to step away from, because did I want to pursue, the medical career? Absolutely. To please my parents? Absolutely. But for my own self person, as someone that's really into the science field? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I had to redo it and like refine my passion for medical stuff? Absolutely. But who can't say that who can't say that, someone that's a college dropout, someone that was a high school dropout, someone that like went the non-traditional route can't come back around where they build themselves the funds to go back to medical school. Like, why can't that be a story too? Like, a lot of times I see that people just view the story of go to your 4-year college. Why? Because that's what, it's easiest. This is why it's easiest. You go to the first 4 years because you are independent. You are dependent. And then the state pays for your funds. And that's less money to use on you, right?
Right.
But then, like, if you want to pursue higher education, that's where you start understanding the loans and the financial aid and how all that works. And of course, hopefully by then you've grown as a person and you create the right connections through college where you can get accepted to, the right areas. Some people, they don't make the right connections. They still get accepted to where they want to go. That's a beautiful thing. But, I, as a person, was thinking about this. I've been just contemplating about the other day. I was like, if I had to just take a step back and go back to medical school, because I read medical journals on my spare time.
Oh.
That's how I stay up to date with my scientific passion.
So you all about that coronavirus right now.
Yeah. I've been looking it up.
You all about that coronavirus. Okay.
Am I very passionate about the medical field? Absolutely. Do I want to be a doctor if I have the opportunity to? Absolutely. It's just my route is just the alternative route where, let me do my creative passions first. And then throughout my journey of life, I have like 80 years to live. If I want to become a doctor at the age of 50 and I have the funds to just pay my way through school to learn the skill, because it's an expensive skill set to learn. Medical school.
Yes.
Okay. It's an expensive skill set. True. Okay. Because it comes with high risk too. High value, high risk, because you have other people's lives in your hands. And I value that a lot. And when I was going through college, I was like, I wasn't in the right mind to study properly for it. I didn't have the right level of passion for it.
Were you trying to become like a surgeon or something?
Yeah, I wanted to become a surgeon.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Children. I wanted to become a surgeon, somebody that can, truly help someone, or even like just a family doctor, because I was really affected by my mom's doctor at the time when my mom was going through all her medical stuff. Okay. And I absolutely loved the career because of my mom's doctor. Like, he just shined a light on it that just absolutely was like, yeah, if I can go to college for this,
Okay. Right. So I kind of want to take creativity on a spin here. So like you talk about creativity, like it's always related to some sort of like art thing, but like, you can still be creative in the sciences. Like, why couldn't you just like stay with the medical field and just be creative in there?
Because
you could have, cured cancer or something.
No, but I know my mind but if I were to, because I just know myself that like, that's if I were to produce something creatively, it wouldn't be in the science field. Because in the science field, I would be definitely more passionate about the lives of the people instead of trying to be creative about the lives of the people.
Wait, say that again. I got lost. I got lost right there. Say that again.
Like, I would rather, like, if I, to step in the medical field, just knowing myself as a person, I truly value human life. And so I wouldn't get creative with how to cure a human person's life. I don't have that. I honestly, if I could say right now as my current person, and I can't really say because I'm not a doctor or anything, but I don't think I would have the creative, like the capacity to creatively think about how I can cure cancer. Like, I'm more of a person where if this is going on, give me the data, let me look at it. If these are the current treatments, let me use that. If that doesn't work, I'll go find the alternatives. If there's no alternatives, can I create a treatment? But I wouldn't see that as creativity, though. I would see that just doing my thing as a doctor, being able to be the scientist in the medical field where I need to, where I should do those case studies and do case studies and do studies on how I can make someone else someone's life is better. I wouldn't see that as something as releasing my creative energy in. If that makes sense.
Okay. I kind of get what you're saying.
Kind of get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I were to, like, knowing me as a person, when I think of creativity, to me, it's like, I think of music, I think of art, I think of writing, I think of talking. Talking itself is creative, like
Yeah,
creativity,
facts.
right?
Yeah.
Sign language and all of that, that's all creative
Yeah,
stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, it definitely is the influence of like Beyonce and stuff too. Like, if I were to do creative stuff, I want to shine bright like a diamond, like Rihanna, and like shine and stage like Beyonce, right? That's just where my creative image has just solidified. So, yeah, I don't think
Okay.
I would have been able to do that jumping to the medical field. But like I said, I can't really say that. And I can't really say how the creativity would work in the medical field. I'm not there. So,
Right. So then like so obviously you're all about like pushing this creativity message out there. So then you're making already saturated field more saturated, because basically what it sounds like you're telling people to do is go do the things that you find are creative, and obviously those things are like, you know, what you just said, like art, music, dance, etc., etc. And like those are the things that you're trying to breach into. So like, speaking from a business side, like, you know, since you talk about business a lot, that's putting more competition into you're putting more fish in the pond when there's not already too many.
I don't necessarily see it like that. Because some people, they fade out, some people fade in. It's a cycle. Change is constant.
Okay.
When you look at it like that, change is constant. Nothing is ever truly saturated, because there's always change. Because change is a constant figure. The only reason why something would feel like it's saturated is if you put yourself in an environment where everything's just the same. Like, you wake up, you listen to the same music, you listen to the same artists, you with the same people, you look at the same news, you know, things that you do on a daily basis that makes you feel comfortable. Anything that's comfortable would make you feel like it's saturated, like the market is saturated. Comfort, like, to me, I look at comfortability or being comfortable as like a danger zone, because like,
okay. Well,
you know?
that's fine. But like, what if you like brought in, so like you're spreading your message of creativity, and
Right.
and along the way, you know, you're trying to rise up there as a musician, but then your message reaches some person, and then they happen to just blow up before you do it. I mean, you know, that's like that would suck.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't suck. It wouldn't suck. I mean, I understand the perspective you're coming from.
Yeah.
But that's also definitely not the type of, like, I would never have that type of reaction, and here's why. Just to be able to stay creative as an adult is already hard enough. Just be able to stay positively creative as an adult is already hard enough.
Okay.
Because as you grow older, the first thing that people ask you to cut is arts. The first thing people ask you to cut out of your life is like music. Why? Because it's hard to be so authentic in the real life world, competing with jobs, competing with things that are like stationary, or things that are more like survival things. You know, going to a coffee bar or like a coffee shop and being a barista is definitely much easier than sitting down and writing a whole song. The reason why I would love if someone would to be influenced or be impacted in a way where they blow up through TBE or just through like whatever that I do.
Oh, you want that, like, yeah, I made that.
No, I mean, it's absolutely, I would appreciate that, right? Because, you know, I am currently on that path. And just to see somebody jump on that path and win, that's like just a plus. Because here in this world, there's already so much negative, and we just need to create. That's why I love TBE, and maybe that's why you love TBE too, because I just want to create a positive environment for everyone to support each other, regardless of which kind of creator you are. And, you know, if someone listens to this and they've always wanted to be a singer and they pop up before I do, like, that's amazing. That's great. Like, I'm glad that you were able to overcome whatever obstacle you were going through and just pursue yourself passionately, creatively in that way. Not a lot of people provide the comfort or the confidence or the support that a person actually needs for them to pursue themselves creatively, you know? Like, going back to, you know, if I say I want to become a singer, my family will be like, okay, good luck. I'll take the credit as your family member when you make it, right? I'll come to your ceremony, like, I'll walk the red carpet with you when you make it. But then my whole journey through that would be you on your own, right? And then when it comes to like friends, It's like some friends are like, yeah, okay, I support what you do. I'll go to your concerts. I'll buy you music, blah, 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 blah. And then you have the other friends that are just like, okay, I'm going to watch you. When you really make it, then I'm going to say I'm your friend at the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then it's really the people that don't really know you, but see you solely for the passion that you're trying to pursue and just genuinely wants to support you just so that you win, because they understand to a certain degree that, man, I see your passion. You really want this for yourself. You really want to make it happen. I don't know who you are, but I'm inspired by your work ethic. I'm inspired by your value, your time that you're putting on yourself. I'm inspired by it. Let me support you. And having someone that I don't completely know blow up in the market area through that, it's a beautiful thing. It's very positive for me.
Okay. I mean, I think people would just say that you're naive and like you're shorthanding yourself, and I think people would say that like you're only this way right now because you're young, and it won't be until you're like older that you really realize that like this never would have worked out, and your whole perspective right now is wrong. Like you're wrong.
No, I understand that perspective, and it's okay to be naive now. It's okay to be naive about it, because why? If anybody that listens to this or like be influenced by TBE or be influenced by whatever I do blow up, that's okay. They can blow up. Why? Because like I said, I don't pay for their bills. I don't pay for their health insurance. I don't pay for their bills. I don't pay for their lifestyle. It's really just their work. They made that because they were inspired by something, and they made it work. Beyonce became Beyonce because she was inspired by Michael Jackson. Christina Aguilera became Christina Aguilera because she was inspired by so many other artists, right? And this is just like, maybe this is not a stem to like a huge artist or anything like that, but it's like if a person was to become inspired by just something little that I do or something little that TBE does as a group,
right,
then it's really all the work. Like, I didn't lose out on anything. That person just worked faster than me. They just put in more work, more time and work than I did.
Okay.
So they should win before I do if they put in more time and more work. If they were able to create things and put in more time and effort into creating that thing, whatever they produce, yeah, they should win. What, the competition? They will have people that like their music. It's not like we have new babies born. Like, it's not like the population is dying, right? We're having new people come and go. Like I keep saying, change is constant. Change is constant. And the reason why I don't worry about competition right now is because, there is really no competition in what I'm doing, because I'm not looking for competition. I'm just looking to pursue, looking to make things happen, building the path. I at least am on a path right now. Now, when I get to a place where, hey, I've established an empire, how do I maintain it? Now that's something else.
Okay.
Right? That's something completely different.
Sure.
If you have an empire where you have to maintain it and you have to protect it, where there's more people that will do you harm than good, in a way where it's going to affect not just you, but all the many people that voluntarily follow you, or all the many people that has been affected by you or like by inspired by you, then that's a whole completely different story, of course. Like in business terms, it's like if I'm talking bad, if I have like my own, like for example, if my business partner, he has his own entertainment company, right?
Right.
Like all I give is love, and I will continue to give love, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then one day maybe I'll open my own entertainment company. What do I expect in return? Is the love too. But if there's like a rift, right, between us, or like there's a rift and legal things need to take action, you can always have people like that.
Okay.
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 And that's where the game changes, right?
Yeah.
But do I actively seek that? No, of course not. It's
right,
something
but
that
I mean that stuff is gonna come to you,
It will come, but when it comes, then I either will have the right people around me at the time to help me take care of it, or if I don't have the right people, I'll go find those right people to help me take care of it.
Okay.
So with everything that I currently have right now, it doesn't mean that it could be something that I carry with myself into the next 20, 40 years that I want to pursue this passion, right?
For sure.
But in between that, are people going to change? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why? Because everyone's growing, and everyone should grow. I tell TBE all the time, hey, always do BT, always grow your mind. Let's all like always attend events, whether it's together or whether it's as individuals.
Yes.
Let's just always grow as people, so that number one, we continue to bring new perspectives into our group, into our creativity. Because you can't create something if you've already used up all of your inspiration or all of your expectations or everything that you have within you. If you are out of creativity, what do? You need to go get uncomfortable, go to attend events, go experience something new again, right?
Yeah.
And so that's really it when I look at things like that. And it's okay if it seems like I'm kind of naive and pushing all this stuff, but it's okay to be naive because not very many people can be naive but stay positive at the same time. And I truly believe people just don't know what they don't know, and it is okay. And I don't know what I don't know, and that's okay. But the difference between what I would do is I would go find out and go understand it and go learn it. I don't know about any other individual, but that's what I would do, and that's the difference. That's the difference of me when I look at that. So did that answer the question you asked?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think you kind of derailed a little bit, but yeah, definitely.
It definitely, it goes
totally.
I answer it and then I go into PD and I, all that stuff. But it's just negative out, negative in, negative out, positive in, positive out. That's how I look at it.
Although I do want to put this on the record too, though, is that like I think that in terms of creativity, it's a societal thing for people to be like, oh, math and science not creative, art and everything that is not like work related is very creative. But I think that's like a very false conception of creativity, because you can be super creative in a math field or a science field. For example, I mean, let's go back to your surgeon aspirations.
Right.
Like oh my goodness, like have you seen The Good Doctor?
I haven't seen that. I watch Grey's Anatomy though.
Okay, well, in The Good Doctor, it's on Hulu, everybody listening. The Good Doctor, I recommend it. It's a great show. So the main character, he has autism, right? And the first thing he does is he basically saves a person's life. This person like was choking on something, and then the doctor or the main character basically just saved his life, but super creatively, like using household materials. It was in an airport, so like he grabbed like a bottle of Jack Daniels, he like cut up the skin in specific places, and like you can be super creative while within a non-traditional I'm doing quotation marks right now, everybody. A non-traditional like field. And like that goes for even being like a teacher too. Like, oh my goodness, like you could be so creative as a teacher.
You have to be creative.
Yeah, totally. I would say that's a requirement. I'd say it's a requirement. Creativity is a requirement for if you want to be the best of the best. I'd say it's a requirement to have
for it all.
Yeah, because you can't be the best of the best if you're not creative. You couldn't build the next Nike if you weren't creative. Like Nike built itself. Nike became what Nike was because Nike was creative. Like if people don't know the story of Nike, Nike almost went bankrupt. And I'm not talking about when like Nike put the whole advertisement for with Colin Kaepernick, and because he took a knee for the national anthem, and people were like, what? And Nike supported that, and people were like, what? Nike, we hate you now. Like you're gonna go out of business. But what people don't know is that Nike actually was on the brink of going out of business like way early on in their career as a company.
Yeah.
It was because their competition was basically just trying to like stomp them out, but they had to think creatively to like get around it, like how to stop this from happening. How do they get their revenues and their profits back up and margins, and then all the while building up their brand, So like you can't be the best without creativity. And
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, and for everybody out there that does have some sort of career in math or sciences, or even like in health or something that seems boring, you can definitely be creative in that field. You just have to. And now if you hate what you're doing, that's
different.
That's a different thing. Like
that's a different thing.
If you can't be creative with something that you hate. Like
no. And I think that's the biggest difference is definitely when you are truly passionate about what you want to do, you're gonna be creative about it because you're passionate about it. That's the big difference. Like you're passionate about it, so you're open to exploring new things, because not only do you have the knowledge to expand that information in every direction that you want, but you're able to create as well. And just creating, like you said, it's just not art, it's just not music, it's just not like writing, whatever it is. Creating, the whole purpose of to create is to create. Create is not, that word itself doesn't have like art easels or like, like when you think of that word, you know what I mean? To create. So people think of paintbrushes, art easel, blah, blah, blah. No, the word itself, it's an English word in the dictionary. It's just to make something happen, to conjure something within thought and put it and make it physical, right? To create. Yeah, the science field, you can definitely be really creative in there. And I believe everybody in whatever field they are passionate about are definitely creators. Like they're creatives, they're creators in terms of, because that was their choice of where they want to direct their creativity.
And I also want to like go back to your thing about being naive or naivety, just trying to sound smart here.
Yeah, good. Good. Honestly, a lot of people, it does give out a negative connotation to be like naive about something, but to be naive is just to not understand or not know what you don't know. But yeah, what's your question?
Right. Yeah, like obviously people don't know what they don't know, but like honestly, I wouldn't say what you're going through is like naive, to be honest. Like I wouldn't consider you naive at all. Like yes, there's things that we don't know, but like that's everybody. That means everybody is naive until the moment they die, So like that definition itself doesn't really like work for me. But like I would not consider you naive, only because like I would only consider somebody naive if you're not actively like working towards your goal of like, let's say you have an out of the box goal you're trying to hit towards. So like you're trying to be like a musician and you're trying to like run a business and like, but you're taking active, and it's very intentional how you're doing it. And I like that a lot. And you're intentional about the steps you're taking, but more importantly, you're intentional about like acquiring knowledge to learn. Like if you weren't acquiring that knowledge, I would call you naive. Like you're just naive. Like you think you're just gonna go out there and be the best singer, the best there, you're just gonna make a splash, and then like hope that fame and fortune was just gonna fall in your lap. Like, okay, good luck. But like, no, that's not. Everybody hopes for that like viral moment, but like you're in terms of like longevity, like you're looking at longevity versus like let me make it viral and get the instant gratification fame. And I think that's like an issue with like our society right now. And I wouldn't even, people like to call me naive as well, but I wouldn't call myself naive because like I don't think I'm naive at all. Like if I made that decision, I actually thought through it for a long time and I decided to go through it. And if it ends up being a bad decision, that's my fault.
That's your
but I chose that decision out of all the other decisions I could have chosen from. And it's not like I just like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good deal. Let me just grab
it.
Yeah, like people, just because, and that's the thing I hate. People like when you tell them like, hey, I'm gonna do something, and then they're thinking like, oh, this bad thing is something bad's gonna happen to you, and then something bad actually does happen to you, and they're like, yeah, see, I told you, you're just naive the whole time, you didn't want to listen. I was like, you didn't like think through it and things like that, and they just like, because they got the outcome that they thought that you were gonna get, then that like somehow gives them the right to be like, yo, I told you. You're still so young. You just don't know yet. Like, you need to be more serious about the world. And it's just like, okay, I am being serious about the world. It just happened that this one time.
Yeah.
It happened that this time I ended up failing. And that's just a part of life. You just have to fail and keep failing. And that's what matters, how you bounce back from that,
Yes. And definitely moments like that. And I just laugh about it. You know why?
Why? Tell me why.
This is why.
Give me the scoop.
The reason why I laugh at situations like that, it's because people that are like, hey, I told you so. Or like, hey, I told you, man, if you did this, this will happen. Blah, 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 blah. Like, they're only getting the gratification of being right. But they didn't grow from it.
Right.
And they think that, oh, hey, the end result matched what I thought it was. But the reason why But if you're on the other side where you were the one that made the choice and you were the one that went through the experience, you're the victor because one, you win in that situation because one, you had the audacity, you had the courage to do it. Something that whoever this person is like, I told you that, the one whoever is complaining and whining about something that never happened to them, right? Like it never happened to them and they're like whining and complaining about it.
Right.
And then you have some of them that like, yeah, it happened to them and they're like, I did that before, blah, 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 blah. It never worked out for me. Well, that was because number one, you and I are two completely different people. When I look at both of those situations, it's like number one, I mean, because I understand that one situation, if you like went through, you failed it, and you have someone that's just in your ear that's like, I told you this is gonna happen. It makes you feel a certain way. Absolutely. Because you're like, damn, you lose self-confidence. That's the number one thing you lose, right? You lose self-confidence. Totally. You lose self-esteem. But this is what I say to those people, to anybody that...
Yeah, to everybody listening, pay attention right now.
Yes, that if you're going through something like that, but you're willing to take the courage and you're willing to put in the effort, you're willing to put in work to experience the choice that you choose to make, you're the victor in that because number one, you went through an experience, you went through an event. That means your life has shifted. Whether it's, nothing, when I look at how things shift in our lives, it's never shifted for the worse. It's always shifted towards progress. Negative or positive. It never shifts towards the worst. It always shifts towards progress, whether that's fail or win. Okay. And if you do something, you fail in it and you have people are like, hey, I told you so. All they have to the only victory or satisfaction they have to say is, hey, I told you so. I mean, how long of a satisfaction do you get with that? Hey, I told you so. There's so. And then, a few days later, hey, did you know that like so-and-so did this and I told them they were going to fail and they failed? I told them so. Like, imagine telling that story 100 times.
Right.
How boring is that going to get? Like, where's the gratification for that? But if you're the person that went through and you had the courage to take your foot forward and step through that door and be like, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to because number one, I see something in it. Number two, I just want to experience it. Let me see how it is. And then you actually do it. You get a shift in how you view things. You don't come out the same person anymore. You never come out the same person. You either come out inspired or you come out as like you come out winning or you come out like growing. Basically. And the story that you get to tell, right? Just imagine the story you get to tell. Yeah, I have this, I did that, I saw that. This is why I chose to do it. And yeah, it didn't work out for me, but now I know more. Now I know better.
Also, I do want to put this on there. Like, not everybody feels the same way, though. Like some people do go through those experiences, and then when they come out, they're like, man, yeah, that sucked. And I didn't feel like I got anything out of it. Like, defeated after their loss.
And that's okay. And you're absolutely right. Most people actually feel like that. And the reason why they would feel like that is because, your mindset probably just wasn't ready for the experience. Your mindset. And I talk about mindset a lot. And I have been like referring to mindset a lot.
Okay.
And it's because, once again, mindset is how you view yourself, your confidence in yourself, how you value yourself. Right, your time, your freedom, how you think about like, what's gonna take you down. What are things that are important to you? What are things that are not so important to you? What are things that will, if someone said this to you, you'll break down in tears or like, your mindset definitely plays a huge role when you're stepping into these experiences. Because a lot of time people will experience something that their mind wasn't ready for. Like they just weren't ready for it to handle it mentally. Like they weren't able to handle it mentally. Whether it was winning. Whether they were put in a winning situation or whether they would put it in a not-winning situation. And do you get the first ultimate defeat when you first lose? Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be like, man, shit, why did I do that in the first place? Right? But it's just timing.
Yeah. I kind of agree with what you're saying about the mindset thing. I do want to say, though, that for those people who are taking a risk, look, you're taking a risk. You're doing more than what 80% of everybody on this earth is already doing by taking that risk, but to do and pursue whatever it is you want to do. And it doesn't have to be in the arts. You could be coming from a very artsy family and decide to go towards math and science. Like that in itself is a risk, especially if you come from legacy. And that in itself it's a powerful thing. Like what that choice you make for yourself is super powerful. And that happens at every stage of your life, you know? Like, this doesn't have to be applied to like arts and stuff. I do want to say this, like, because I definitely feel super strongly, you don't have to go to college if you don't want to go to college. Like, if you believe that you can make it as an artist and not go to college, you definitely can. And making that choice already is putting you above 80% of everybody else in this world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, honestly, you know, the other 20%, you know, you have to put in the work for sure, but also smart work.
Yeah. Work smart. Work
Yes.
hard. Work smart.
Yes.
Work smart towards everything. Be very honest and be very virtuous and chivalrous as well when you're doing that. And, you know, taking risk takers. You know, a lot of times when you choose to take a risk is when you actually realize or acknowledge something within yourself that you don't have. You know, if you had something, you would never take a risk for it because you already have it.
Right.
But if you're choosing to take risks, and this is just for everyone that's listening, that maybe you're not in the situation where you want to take a risk, but you know a friend or you know someone that's like, they're going to take a risk on something, right?
Yeah.
Just understand they're taking a risk because they have their own reasons why. And it must be something that they don't have and they want. And that is okay. Whatever side you choose to be on, you know, in terms of this person taking a risk, it's up to you. However, the type of person. And at the end of the day, it's just whoever's taking a risk. Do you want to be part of their journey or do you want to just watch their journey? And you choose that. And then you live your life, you live your journey. Vice versa. And what's most important is that just remember everything is a choice. Choosing to take a risk is a choice. Choosing to go to college is a choice. Choosing to pursue your creative side is a choice. Choosing to listen to the negative is your choice. Choosing to go listen to the positive is your choice. Choosing to hang around with certain people is your choice. Everything at the end of the day is your choice. It's so very important and powerful to understand how powerful choice is.
Yeah, totally.
And the value of having a choice. You know, that's just what I have to say. I mean, I'm very grateful for all the choices I've made, whether they were bad or good, whether they were like, you know, I've been through ups and downs, depression and everything, been through all of that as well.
Okay.
But why do I, you know, I can openly talk about my depression. I can openly talk about all the bad things that's happened to me. I can openly talk about it. Why? Because I've overcome it. I've overcome it and I'm in a space and I'm in a place where my past doesn't define me for where I'm going to go towards the future.
Yeah.
And I hope that for everyone else too. And I'm much more positive in life now because life is so precious to just always be negative. Life is just so precious to be always so negative. You know, understand that not everybody wakes up saying that today's going to be a great day. Everybody wakes up. Most people wake up thinking about what happened yesterday. And, you know, I'm very grateful that I've been able to train myself, put myself in a space and read books, listen to motivational stuff, or listen to things that I need to hear, not just things I want to hear, but putting myself in a space where I get to listen to things I need to hear to grow. And, you know, I wake up every day, even though I'm super sore from my workouts, even though I'm super tired from, you know, doing creative things, like, you know, all the stuff that I do, right? The social media marketing, the Amber tour. I could have like called off work the next day because I was so tired from that tour. But guess what? I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a great day because I get to be influenced by these children again and like learn from these kids again. Like, I look forward to something every day. And if you like are not looking forward to something every day, then I highly, highly recommend you find that. Whatever that is. And if you can't find it within yourself, you need to go talk to somebody else. And you need to go become uncomfortable. If you're too comfortable where you're at and you wake up and you're just like, man, another day in life. If that's where you want to be, don't complain about it. Don't complain about what you have. If you're complaining about what you currently have, then, you know, maybe it'll be like, maybe it's something, it's time to shift at least something, a little bit of something, right? And so, but stay positive. You know, I read a lot of books.
Okay. Right.
And
right on.
What I love most about just understanding the concept, just understanding the importance of knowing how to read, not just to read, but knowing how to read and what to read to help you is so powerful.
Yeah, you got any books for me? You got any suggestions?
Books? Absolutely. I have so
Yeah,
many.
yeah. Give me some right now, off the top of your head.
I'll talk about just the number one. I think this goes for everybody maybe around my age. I would say for the people that are like 18.
How old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
Oh, I didn't think you were gonna say.
I'm 24 years old. You know, age is just a number. I don't really care if people know it. Age is a beautiful thing. But for anybody that's
She's single, y'all.
Daniel is single too.
What? Nah.
Are you single? Actually, I don't really know. Are you single?
I am single, actually.
Okay, see, there you go.
I
I
am
wasn't
single.
wrong. Okay.
Recently single. You know, I'm recovering.
Oh.
I'm recovering from a heartbreak, you know.
I'm sorry, Daniel. I didn't know that.
God,
Oh,
look what you did.
I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna recommend this book for you just to help you out.
Yeah, give me some love books. Give me
All
some.
right.
Give me some breakup books.
Okay, not breakup book. Maybe
But-
maybe a book to help you understand what
Yeah,
you're going
give
through,
me some
right?
healings.
Number one, the five languages of love, 5 love language book.
Oh,
Have you read that?
I've not. I mean,
You
I know what
should
the
read
love languages are,
Yes.
but I have not read the book.
If you should read the book. Have you taken the test?
I haven't taken the test, but like
You should take the test.
so like here's my thing. So I know a lot about it that
Okay.
like I feel that I personally am probably first and foremost quality time,
Okay.
and then secondly like access service probably. That's what I think, but I haven't taken the test. So I
Oh,
don't-
you need to take the test, Daniel.
well, I don't want the test to define who I am.
No,
you know?
okay, no, that doesn't mean it's gonna define who you are. It just helps you. The test. I look at tests like it just helps you
Just
gather your thoughts
Okay.
and just putting down in numbers. It's just a numbers thing. Like it's a very simple test. Actually, you should take it. It's so simple. It's so.
Did you only do one? How
No.
many versions did you take?
There's only one out there, the 5 love languages, or the actual book. Like I just took the 5 languages of love or love language, whatever, interchangeable. It's that one very popular book.
But did you only do it one time, or did you do it like back to back to back?
Oh no, I did it. I took it in total of 3 times. I only took it 2 times actually. 2 times, not 3, 2.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was thinking about
cool.
my past results that I had, like when I took with Meyer and Trev.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then at that same night, I retook it, and I retook it more
Ooh.
genuinely.
Okay, what'd you get?
And I took my time with it. So number 1 I got was active service.
Oh.
Number 2 was physical touch, and number 3 was quality time.
Oh,
And when
it's
I
like
first took
flipped.
it, yeah, it's flipped. Physical touch is the
Oh, yeah, it's still
main
number 2.
thing. Still number 2. But quality time
That's how
and
you know,
active
boys.
service.
That's how you know.
No, but it's hey, physical touch is very important in any relationship.
Are you looking
I think. What?
actively
Oh,
or no?
okay. So disclaimer. I just have to say this, okay?
If you want to know, we're gonna put this on the Patreon. It's gonna be cut out. So if you want to know, get on the Patreon. I'm just kidding. I don't have a Patreon. I'm just playing.
Daniel's like, yeah, Patreon. No,
I need to get
disclaimer.
one, though.
We might talk about a lot about like relationship stuff, but
On
I've never
TBE?
been in a relationship.
On TBE, you
On
talk about
TBE or anything, just in general. I've never been in a relationship.
really.
Yeah, I've never dated.
You
I've never
look
had a
like
boyfriend. I've never had a relationship.
You look like you've been the type who has had some sort of relationship in the past.
What? Everybody
Wow,
says
I want to
that.
dive
Why?
I want to dive so deep into this right now, but it's not the topic of the
What?
podcast. It's not the topic of tonight. But
could be
yes,
another night, no?
we're gonna dive so deep into this.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, yes. Okay, we'll schedule another time. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, I've never been in a relationship.
Okay.
I've never had that experience. But when I was taking this test, the questions are very simple. That's why I say it's very simple. Take it. Very simple. And so active service, physical touch, quality time. That's what I
Yeah,
got.
yeah.
And so just reading just a summary of it made me really interested in the book, 5 Languages of Love. So 5 Languages of Love, do that.
Yeah.
For your
Okay.
heartbreak. Just to understand your type of love. Just what your type of love is. Okay, Daniel?
Y'all can't see me, but I got tears.
And I recommend your spouse, or if you're in a relationship, for your girlfriend to take it too, because it's not so much to understand that person's love.
Yes, you need
but-
to. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's to understand the type of love
Oh, yeah.
you receive, like you would like
Yeah,
to receive.
totally.
Do it. And the next book, just one more book, I highly recommend is my gosh, whatever I have it
Currently.
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Oh,
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
that is so good.
And this
So
is
good.
so powerful because sometimes people bless you.
Thank you.
Sometimes, most times, people understand that, you know, if you do something, you made a choice to do it, right?
Right.
Or they also think that like, oh, it's because of your outside circumstances, like it's because of your family circumstances, it's because of your friends that you have around you, and da da da.
Yeah.
But when you read this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, and so I highly recommend it. It's not a book just for like if you're doing business, if you're doing like arts and stuff. It's a human book. It's a book for the human people. Like honestly.
Totally. Yes, the subconscious is way stronger than the conscious, y'all.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yes. Yeah.
All
It
right.
very, very powerful. So those are the books I recommend.
Okay,
And
so the 5 love languages.
5 languages, love
5
languages.
Yeah. Okay, and then The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Murphy.
Wait, who wrote the first one?
I don't know. Whoever.
Okay, well, I guess y'all gonna have to
You can
Google
just
it.
Google it. Just Google
Best
it. Look
friend
it up.
right now, y'all. Google that.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Read
Anything
with me.
else you want to say to
You
these
know,
folks?
thanks Daniel for having me on the podcast.
Thanks.
You know, originally we were
you're
gonna
welcome.
just come and talk about the Amber tour, but we definitely dive into a lot of very interesting things. You know, pursue your creativity, nurture it in the most uncomfortable ways possible, and follow your creativity and put yourself in situation in events that you've never been in before will definitely help you get closer to where you want to be. And so anybody that's listening, if you in the back of your mind is like, I want to write a book, but my job is not, there's no way my job is not relation to that at all. Or I want to produce music, but I'm doing something that requires, 80 hours a day. I don't think I can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Because remember, you're in charge of your time.
Yeah.
Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Some people work 2-3 jobs and they still produce music. Some people work 4 or 5 jobs and they're still able to produce YouTube content.
So true.
Guess my final thing I'm gonna say is this. 2020 is a year of change. It's like a golden year. Like, you can just feel the physical change in the world.
New year, new me, guys.
Yeah, but it's not like that anymore. It's not a regular New Year, new me. 2020 definitely is a year of constant, complete change. It's like you're in another universe, basically.
Yeah. Well, it is the start of a new decade.
It is the start of a new decade. So you are in a new decade. You're basically in a new universe. It's what you choose to do with your time with it that is going to truly matter. And jobs are getting taken away. And who are rising? Kids nowadays don't want to be doctors and lawyers. They want to be influencer YouTubers. The world has shifted, you guys. The world of creators is emerging. It's rising. If you are a creator, you're gonna do so much in this decade to come, because creators, they're coming back.
Yeah. Well, just before we get off of this, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, that
What
would
are
be
all
really
your
helpful.
handles? What are your platforms? Shamelessly plug yourself right
Shamelessly
now. It's your moment.
Okay.
Don't screw this up.
All right. You can find me on Facebook at Sandra Thao, Sandra space Thao. Definitely look up my creative crew too, T.BExtraordinary. 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 If you can't find it on Facebook, you can just definitely look on my personal page and find that. Now, I my social media platform that I use the most is my Instagram at Ess Era. So ESS.ERA. And that is where you can find me. Snapchat, you can find me as Sandarelli or Sandra Thao, Sandarelli, SANDERILLI 13. I don't know, I think. Snapchat, I created that stuff a long time ago. That's just where most of my contacts are. But you can find me on Snapchat too. And if you're like, yo, you're saying so much handles, you don't know what the heck, where to follow, just go right to my Instagram. And then all my handles are there too. So you'd be more than open to follow me. But yeah, that's how I shamelessly plug myself. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, no
for giving me
problem.
the opportunity to plug in.
Yeah, well, for everybody that doesn't know yet, you can also find me at everything: Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes at TabooThao. Again, that is TabooThao. And yeah, those are all my handles. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was such a good talk.
Yes, it was. Look forward to the future ones with Daniel. Oh shoot, you don't say your real name. You're